Hey everybody and welcome to the show. My name's Dave and this is a fistful of podcasts from FFOPradio.com. Back for another great week. Let me introduce you as usual to wait a second, hold on. We're doing this live, so
Yeah.
let me fade the video in. Hi everybody,
Fade it in.
welcome to the show.
Get faded.
My name is Dave. This is a fistful of podcasts. From Fistful of Podcasts, nope. That's not the one.
From FFOPradio.com. If you go to
FFOP.
fistfulpodcast.com, you can have a dildo
You
too.
will see, straight up Chinese porno. But let me introduce you as usual to my co-host all the way from the Arena Sparks area. And up first, we have one Mr. Andrew Bergevin.
So David, a priest, a nun, and a rabbit walk into a blood clinic, and the guy says, "Okay, what blood type are you?" And the priest says, "Oh, I'm type B positive," and the nun says, "Oh, I'm type A minus," and the rabbit says, "Oh, I think I'm type O."
What?
He's supposed to be a rabbi.
Rabbit, and at the beginning, the rabbit. He's a typo. I get it.
Okay.
That was funny. Kayla should appreciate that.
Kayla loves that kind of stuff. I'm, full disclosure, a little distracted because I've got a lot going on right here. Also in studio, we got Krista over there on the couch. Her camera is not hooked up because we've got Andy's video going.
I'm here. David was like, "Oh, do you want to be on video?" Because
Then I forgot.
And then I'm like, "Okay, I won't shower and get in pajamas then."
I forgot we were going to have Andy up there in the corner.
Yeah.
His Nightcrawler poster intact.
Picture in picture. Oh, look, it's just what I told you, David. Here she comes.
Whatever. So, what are we going to talk about, Andy? This is the, what you call it? First show of the year, 2021. Yeah. Congratulations. Tell Alex I said hello. She left before she saw me wave. I found
David
that
says hi. She can't see you wave because I don't have YouTube turned on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she wouldn't have seen me wave. And to people listening to this later, the podcast version, they're like, this is fucking bullshit. I'm not watching a thing.
True.
Anyway, guys, here we are. First show of the new year, 2021. So what up with that, Andy? So first of all, did you get anything cool for Christmas?
Sure. What did I get for Christmas?
You don't remember?
Board games. I got some board games.
Okay.
Marvel Legendary.
Right.
Deck building game.
Uh-huh.
Feast for Odin.
What's that?
It looks very complicated. It has a lot of really small, tiny pieces. Okay. But once you get going, it's basically a game about being Vikings and filling up your holds.
Sure.
Totally understand those words.
Yeah, I love holds and having them full because that's what they're there for. If they're not full, what are they holding? Nothing.
Nothing. Exactly.
Anyway, guys, studio improvements have happened. If you're watching the YouTube, things have changed, obviously. There is no longer cheap mattress padding on the walls of the studio. We have here professional sound crates. You can see these two. And if you're listening later, you can't even see these two.
That's true.
Everything I'm saying right now is highly conditional.
That's all right.
On your place and time.
Yeah, well. People are listening.
Yeah, so what's up, Andy? It's been a while. We haven't touched base in a while.
Been a while.
Oh man.
You can't. You can't start.
So listen to this. Thinking of that, that made me think of the 90s for some reason. A lot of things do.
Yeah.
And so in this house,
a nicer time.
Yeah. It was an easier going time. Kids were skateboarding. Guar was making movies. It was a great time to be alive. 1994. What a time. No. What I was going to say was that reminds me of the 90s, and Krista always tells our Alexa, she goes, play 90s. And for some reason, our Alexa thinks that 90s R&B is the genre to settle into.
Yeah,
that's the way to go.
Playing all 90s. And it's like all just sexy time music.
It is all like... Not even like there's
no Boys to Men and Nate Dogg.
It's literally that's it. It's like all these sexy slow jams, and I'm like this is exactly why when I say Alexa play 90s alternative, because I want to hear something fast. But I guess if you just tell Alexa 90s, she goes, "Oh, it's fuck time."
You're living in the 90s, huh?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the music you were conceived to? Wait, you were born in 84. Never mind.
That was a little after. But yeah, it seems like a strange genre to go to, unless it's pulling off of your music history and not mine.
Amazon Music, which it's just I don't listen to.
Maybe it says
R&B.
it's a girl voice saying.
No, I got that Spotify.
Hmm.
Although I can tell my thing to play sex music, and it does start.
What does it play?
Mostly 90s R&B.
Really?
Yeah.
So like maybe that's it. Maybe that was perfected in the 90s and they didn't ever have to go back and be like, maybe we should take another look at this. Like the 90s R&B was the perfect sex music. Maybe that's the only time that's ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. It's just kind of awkward when you're feeding lunch to your 2-year-old and like the song comes on about wanting to just fuck a girl all day.
Yeah, it's weird because
don't you remember Ozzy Osbourne's "Fuck a Girl All Day"?
Well, this is it feels very like junior high homecoming / prom in my house a lot of the time now.
Yeah,
it's just weird because.
Oh, so it's Green Day's "Time of Your Life" over and over.
Yeah, it did play a Green Day song, and I think it wasn't "Time of Your Life." I think it was whatever, one of their newer when they started wearing eyeshadow tracks. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. That's the thing. I don't understand. I'm going to tell you this, Andy, and it'll happen again because I'm not going to type it into a search engine. On the last show we did together, we mentioned the Peloton bike and the hologram personal trainer mirror.
Yeah.
I never did a Google search once, and you would not believe how many ads after posting that episode that said Peloton bike. How many? Yeah,
because they're listening.
Just on my Instagram, on Twitter, everywhere. Amazing.
So did you pick up one of them nice bikes then?
Oh, of course.
We've got 3.
Yeah, I was like, I have enough money to buy a car or a bike with an iPad attached to it. So I bought the bike with the iPad.
Nice.
I did the math because I was like, this is insane. What are they selling the bike for? It's like $2,500 for the bike, right? Then it's $40 a month subscription fee.
Ugh.
So I did the math. I did stationary bike, Walmart, $139.99. iPad, let's say you get the tricked out version. You're not going to spend over $5 large.
We're getting the Pro.
Yeah, get whatever you want. $500, $600, whatever, max. Get the max, whatever you want. You're still going to be saving thousands of dollars because you'll be able to buy a roll of duct tape to tape that motherfucker to your stupid bike and put on a YouTube virtual bike ride.
Yeah. Or turn on whatever season of whatever the fuck you're watching.
Right. That's the thing too. I don't know why. It must be a certain type of person who needs to be like in front of somebody else doing the same thing. So you're like, okay, we're suffering together. Or maybe they're the type of person that desperately wants to hear their name said by someone on a screen. Because that's
why I'm gonna start selling mirrors for all hobbies. Where you just see another sad person looking at you.
They're all sad?
Yeah, every single one. Like I'm gonna have a mirror in front of me while I'm playing whatever video game I am. I look over, there's another fat guy. I'm like, "What's up?"
You accidentally stumbled upon a brilliant idea, Andy. Because imagine this, whatever. But take the mirror, but instead of a mirror, put it in a box, make it purple and covered in jewels, and have the door swing open. You can have a zombie box, and essentially have because that would be the thing. Find a hobby that needs tutelage.
This implies that there's like a 24/7 zombie service that you're paying for.
Well, it would be a subscription like the Peloton sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you would buy this zombie hobby box, and we would have different channels, let's say, it wouldn't be a huge box, obviously. I'm not going to be a dick. But
you have to be able to put it on your record player. Is that where Pee Wee kept his? I can't.
It depends on the season, and it depends on the special, and it depends on the show. Doesn't matter. Moral of the story is, get ourselves a zombie type, and then that'd be the thing. You could pay someone who knows about, let's say, tabletop gaming, and let's say you could be for a subscription of a Peloton payment a month, we would do like you would have a virtual D&D, and with fucking filters and shit, you could make them look like a wizard or a goblin, and like dude, zero costumes, but all you have to do is get a dude in front of a screen who knows a lot about the shit you are doing. Will fucking filter their face to look like an ogre or a wizard. I mean,
well, and I like for I one of the things I got for Christmas is a bunch of those little Warhammer guys, and I've been painting them. And I wish there was a guy behind me. I was like, nah, that's not gonna work.
I'm telling you. So what if I wouldn't obviously charge $49.99 a month for this fucking subscription?
Why the hell not?
But
it's a specialized feature.
DLC.
Well, no, because you'd be essentially going live. You'd have to have someone doing live shit and they'd have to have a camera. You'd have to be paying like a person. And that's the thing. If one person, can, how would you do that though? Because if you were going to have one person run multiple D&D things, that'd be impossible.
No, you'd have to hire a bunch of DMs.
Yeah. And then okay, the overhead just went way up. We're fucked. This isn't like bike riding. It'd have to be something stupid, simple like bike riding.
My DM farm.
Yeah.
I lock them in their little DM cubicles. They can have one piece of flair.
Well, so yeah, but you'd have to be like, okay, so, because if you're paying, you'd have, no, there's no way. Like this would have to be for like the stupid rich, and then I'm already checked out.
There, it's already for the stupid rich. Stupid, comma, rich.
Right, but here's the thing. If this technology takes off, then sure, it'd be great. But if we're on the cutting edge that cuts off at the edge of a cliff, I don't think this I would wait. Here's my money is on waiting for a holodeck. I don't want a mirror with a hologram in it. I want to walk into a hologram. So, I will wait for all the rich assholes to get their virtual bike tours and their virtual trainers and their mirrors that watch you while you take a crap. I will sign up as soon as it's immersive and affordable.
Oh, you're taking real good shit there, Dave. Thank you,
Thanks.
Poop trainer.
Poop trainer. Yeah. That would probably, you could do that. Like something as easy as shitting. Put a toilet mirror on there would be a camera on you. There'd obviously be no camera on the people shitting. But like if you shit during the live stream, like let's say I'm all cosplayed up and I've got a fake toilet that I'm sitting on. Like if the live stream comes up and you can put a button on your flush and you go whoosh, it'll come up on the screen and I'll be like, hey, Chad in Wisconsin, way to drop that deuce. And I'll go, or we'll play a sound drop or something like for $2 a month.
Oh, and David sits there on the toilet and he reads from Uncle John's bathroom reader to you.
Oh yeah. Just think, like imagine, okay. This is Andy. Here's an idea. There's no overhead, so we're gonna use this one.
Okay.
Maybe like a YouTube channel that is someone sitting on a toilet, not necessarily shitting, but reading aloud bathroom reader type material.
Okay. Like the Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah, basically. And we just farm that for thousands of hours and call it, live or whatever, and do that. Just have like a bathroom reader, like
the bathroom companion.
That's the thing. Since phones kicked in, I've been reading a lot less book material, but I miss it. So I'm missing that information and not getting it because I'm supplementing it by Facebook and rotting my brain on stupid apps and Ant Farm.
Pooping without
nobody keeps filthy magazines in their bathroom anymore.
Exactly.
Not filthy like porno, but filthy like
limericks
covered in poop. Ooh, this is a good rap song.
Thank you.
Can you hear it?
No, I can't. But if we had, that would be a thing. Like just put it up like a $1.99 a month paywall, like, or maybe even $1, because it'll be all like low effort and we'll have thousands of hours catalog. Maybe we'll do live streams. Like that would be a thing. But that's the thing. We could probably just do it on free on YouTube.
Yeah, and have YouTube monetize it, and then everybody will come after us for reading their stuff. It'll have to be a...
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it'll have to be like... Okay, so we will need a device.
So Great Gatsby just went up for not being copyrighted anymore. So it's what's that? Public
domain.
Public domain.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. There's tons of stuff in the public domain.
Yeah.
Exactly. All of Dickens.
I don't like Dickens though.
I like Dickens.
All right. Well, you can read that.
You can read Lovecraft's shitty fiction.
Is
I'll-
Dante's Inferno in public domain?
Oh yeah, it's for thousands of years. No,
Oh.
not thousands, like hundreds, but still.
Thousands of years ago.
It was written 600 years ago. So yeah, it's long past the artist's death plus 75
Are we sure
years.
that Dante doesn't have any upsetting children or great grandchildren?
How many greats?
I know Tolkien's family is lugging that corpse around.
Mm.
Yeah, but he was alive like when TVs were around. Dante never saw running water or indoor plumbing.
The Romans saw running water, so
Maybe the rich ones, but in the 1400s,
I don't
and
know.
especially living in Florence in like a little village, I doubt it. I'd
I'd have to look up indoor plumbing.
Maybe maybe in Rome proper, sure, with all the aqueducts, but he's in Florence. He's in the sticks. He's hanging with the white elves and the black elves. He's got all these political turmoils going on. He's writing his book.
Oh yes,
Not-
the white elves, the dark elves, the wood elves.
Oh man. So, Andy, something else I got. This chair.
Yeah.
This is a
Oh,
nice gaming chair. It doesn't squeak.
I've got mine too. Can you see it?
I do. That's what made me think of it because I kept being like, "Oh wow, that's a nice chair," and I kept thinking, "I got one of those too." But it's white and it blends in, so I wanted to point it out because it came in, Santa's sack.
See, and and here's just, talking about just furniture coming in. So you probably had an office chair in there.
I did.
For me, when I get any new furniture, I take the old furniture it's replacing and I bust it up so much that it will be of no concern to the dumpster. Like it just flattens in the dumpster.
Okay, no concern.
Everybody else in this fucking complex is like, I don't know, I got like an
Oh.
ancient bed frame here, like a nice something from the olden times.
Some wrought iron.
Let's just chuck the whole thing. Oh, it doesn't fit. Okay, well, let's put it on top of the dumpster lid so no one can get in.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I don't know. I don't. There are people like that. Yeah, sure. I have never been that person, but like, here's the thing: if you work in a place that has a big dumpster, like the place I work is in a strip mall that has these huge dumpsters, and just like lazy assholes will drive by and just throw their trash in or throw some big piece of crap in and be like, they'll deal with it. Like, no one cares, but. That's the thing. The people who are dumping shit in your dumpster, those big things, probably don't even live in your complex.
Probably
But I
not, but
bet they
I don't know.
sneak in.
There's a lot of old people in here, and whenever that's new furniture, it's usually a new bed, and then you see the box, and then like the old piss-stained mattress, and the frame. That was what was in there last week. Like right after Christmas, I go out there, and there's like a single bed just covered in yellow stains.
Oh my god!
And the saddest tiny bed frame, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm going somewhere else because I'd have to touch that to get my trash in here.
yeah, we were. There was somebody bought one of those like whatever $1,000 squishy purple foam mattresses and was taking it somewhere and it flew off. I found it on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I tried a $3,000 mattress or whatever it is, just sitting on the side of the road. I was like, well,
And it was still there when we drove back home.
yeah. Like if you drop one of those things,
Yeah.
if I were transporting mine, like I've got one of those foam mattresses. If it flew off the car, I'd be like, shit, I sleep on that.
I
Number
gotta
one.
Get it.
Number two, like how far away were they going?
Our neighbors are moving / have moved, and David said there's like a bunch of gross mattresses in their backyard.
Oh my god.
I was coming back from the store today, and I was driving behind somebody who had a like 12-foot unsecure ladder sticking out of their Geo trunk.
Perfect.
Jesus.
And I said to myself, where the fuck are they going? And of course they turned into this complex. And of course it's the people who live on the corner who always have the police there for domestics.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm hoping now that these neighbors are moving, we'll have the police here half as much because these neighbors over here are still a problem. But since these ones are gone, I was like, oh my god, thank God, because they've been the worst. And so I, nosy neighbor syndrome. I peeked over the fence to check out in the backyard, and it is a staggering tale of dysfunction. Like,
Yeah, how many different car parts you got back there?
not even car parts. Like car parts would be like, oh, ha, that's expected.
Unfunctional trampoline?
No, they must have at one point because there's a skeleton of it. It's like disassembled.
Okay.
But since they're moving and they were renting and they were forced to move, they had to make a lot of repairs and are still making repairs. So there is a line of interior doors, like a deck of cards leaning up against the back of the house, all with punch holes in them. Some of them with more than one.
Okay, fun.
And then they also I don't know why they 6 or 7 mattresses, like they were like it was a Homer Simpson style like mattress land they were planning but gave up on 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah. Well, it's a
I
delight.
don't-
It's like the guy next door who we walked. His bass is so loud that one night we walked by his porch to look into his house.
Mhm.
And he has almost no furniture except for this gigantic stereo, and his floor is littered with beer cans. I hope loud bass can kill a man.
It could probably cause a heart attack.
Here's what I don't get about that sort of person. The person who gets, the loud stereo, the whatever, the look at me item. Because when you do look at them, it's always a really sad picture.
Yeah, like his porch is littered with beer cans. There's beer cans on like the railing of his porch. There's just in his house on the ground.
But he's got that 6 stereo, bro. That's how he gets through the day. And that's the thing. I don't get it. Like same thing with the lady over here that moved. She had, this awesome stereo in her truck.
$5,000.
$5,000. She told me more than once. It was $5,000 to put that stereo in that truck. And I thought, $5,000 to put that stereo in that truck, and you don't have the money to fix all the holes in the walls and the doors
Or
you've been
get a
punching?
stereo for your house?
Or here's the thing. Earbuds.
When you're super hardcore dancing, or maybe she was playing ska and skank dancing everywhere.
No,
She was
it was
punching
shit
holes like
music.
It was like I don't like hearing the N-word that loud
Yeah.
in my house when it's
With our TV on.
with an impressionable child.
yes.
Right.
If he picks up any one of my swear words, I'll take a mulligan on that. If he grabs that one, I'm gonna kill. But she's gone, so whatever.
We'll find her.
What?
She called me the C word to David twice.
What?
Yeah, so whatever. She's gone. Somebody else's problem.
Speaking of inconsiderate people, so yesterday we've been playing another board game. It's the Arkham Horror card game.
Okay, yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's expensive, so that's probably what I'm going to recommend this week. But it comes with a bunch of little fiddly pieces.
Sure.
So and what we use for those when there's too many of them is I will order a tackle box.
And
store 'em in a
I
little
have
tackle box.
all my dice
Here.
are in that.
I can show you. See?
That's not
It's
a
like a
tackle
little-
box.
Yes, it is.
That's a craft box.
Well, it came
Tackle
from
box is used by men
it came
to
from the
catch
fishing
fish.
store for $4, and a craft box would come from Michael's for like 15.
Uh-huh.
Well, whatever. You can put a different sticker on it. That's a craft box.
But I said to I said we're gonna order this for pickup, and it was drive up pickup. I was like, this is wonderful. We go there, and there's all these people just gathered around, no mask, like get. Like I was like, I'm glad I'm not them. And Alex says, oh, I need to go to the pharmacy. I said, well, while we're there, I'll grab some stuff that we need. I went into the local grocery store where there are arrows on the ground telling you which way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single person walking them.
No, why even bother? It's
Walking
not like-
into us, their masks are down around their faces, and anytime I was coming out of a one-way aisle and somebody almost ran into me trying to come down the same way, I just looked down, like, huh. Keep walking.
I don't. Here's the thing. I keep thinking and hoping that things are getting better, and I'm seeing more and more signs around here in Arizona, being like, mask up, Arizona. Like even the small podunk towns we drive to, like for day trips, they are like, hey man, quit fucking killing yourselves.
Right.
Like we realize there's a vaccine. If you haven't got it yet, you are not safe. So
it's the new year, David. Everything's better. Like my wife has been home early, like the last 2 work days in a row, because everybody's like, new year, no virus, and they come in and buy all the food.
Huh.
Okay, so we just came back from walking around Chandler. I wanted to do some street photography, so we were
Could
walking
you
around.
be more photographer?
So we went down there, and I was surprised most everybody was like pretty much covered unless they were sitting in a restaurant. And I'm like, then,
At least they were like
Blech.
at least 6 feet apart because their tables were spread apart so much. I mean, outside. I don't know about the inside,
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I can't go back to like I could go back to eating in restaurants. I can't go back to not just ordering my shit and then sitting in my car listening to a book while somebody brings it to me.
I mean, I guess, but that's a slippery slope, Andy, because before long you're a shut-in. Like okay, so here's the thing. I would like to think that I am weathering this, mostly shelter at home and stay away from other humans as sanely as possible. However, you get to that point where you're just like, it feels crazy isolating. So I get why people want to break out,
yeah.
but that's the
I
thing.
can't. No, go ahead, do it.
But every time that
I'll be here.
we get more spikes, and I'm worried that I'm becoming agoraphobic. Like every time we go out and I see someone, I'm like, oh my God, that's a potential infected person. And I'm building myself into my mind this mindset of like, if I'm in my car, I'm fine. If I'm in my house, I'm fine. If I'm in my office at work, I'm fine because I can shut that door and I'm the only one who has the key. But anywhere else is like a fucking danger zone.
I mean, we'll be walking down in downtown Mesa, just being outside. There's nobody around, and then somebody will come around the corner, and David goes like 20 feet
Because you
away.
can look at them, you can see in their eyes that they want
they have
to
masks
sneeze in
on.
your face.
And we have masks on.
Sometimes.
And he goes so
Sometimes.
far away.
Well, and I do that. Like I will walk into a store, and if somebody, and I rarely walk into stores these days. If somebody's behind me and they get right up behind me, I just look at them like, "Excuse me."
Oh yeah.
It's insane.
I went to Sprouts because I had to pick up a couple
Sprouts.
things, and I wasn't able to like get a fries order in time. So I went to Sprouts, got like 3 things. I'm in line. I'm about to pay, and this dude comes up, and he literally moved his cart, so he was like right behind me while I was paying, and I'm like looking at him out of the corner of my eye, like, what? He didn't even have a mask on. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it was down by his chin.
Here's the thing.
I'm tired. I'm so tired.
In my head, I keep thinking I'm going to have to deal with one of these people, but something about me makes them not want to fuck with me for whatever reason. But in my head, I'm just waiting for that one guy to start shit so I can just like,
Ninja.
yeah, I want to chop him right in the neck. No, I'm not going to touch him. Fucking
David punches him, and the guy takes it full on, and David offers up his wallet, and the moth wallet comes. The wallet moth comes.
Yeah.
Doing, doing, doing. I don't have anything, and then David runs.
I just want to yell at someone, but I'm obviously not going to touch them because they're covered in filthy germs.
Just yell at them and spray them with hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
We did a virtual Christmas with my mother-in-law and her husband and his son. And there came a point where he was like, "This is gonna piss off Andy, but I think Joe Biden." And I just turned down my computer speakers, and he finished talking, and Dana was like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." I was like, "It doesn't matter. I turned down the
I
sound."
couldn't hear you. It's fine.
Not for nothing, but like I want to be eating some of that just desserts that everybody was getting 4 years ago. Like
Delicious
everybody's
desserts.
crying and snowflakes and blah, blah, blah. And still in this city I live in, there are not only Trump Pence banners, not only are there Trump Pence banners from the first time he ran still up,
Yeah.
but like we still got the flags, we still got like
Mhm.
they will not give up the ghost. Like I don't know how many times a loss has to be declared before someone's like, all right, you got me.
Well, not right. They just put a whole big statement of a bunch of senators going, "Well, we are going to delay this." Like, try it. Fuck around and find out. You know what happens on the 20th if you haven't elected this president? President Pelosi.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it's weird. It's stupid. However,
Anyway.
something crazy did happen. Krista and I watched a crazy documentary.
Oh my god.
What documentary?
So I'll talk. There's 2. One I'm going to recommend at the end of the show. One I'm going to talk about now. This one is called Dina.
Mm.
Dina.
So when I was perusing Hulu, looking at trailers, I wandered into the documentaries, and this one seemed
I call that
interesting.
giving the old Perulu.
The old Perulu. So I clicked on it, watched the trailer. It is basically there's narration in the trailer. It's like a 40-year-old woman with autism has lost and loved, and now is trying to find love again, and is trying to, with her also special needs husband, trying to get to bang and blah, 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 blah. And it's going to be a quirky love story about two special needs people coming together. That is what it was pitched as.
Sure.
What it was a hodgepodge of overly edited home movies with no arc, no plot, no resolution, no character development, and
more back fat than we needed to see.
more.
I call
back
that Wonder Woman 1984. Wait for it.
Yeah. So that's by and large the most of it. I tuned in expecting to see a narrative of this woman with Asperger's finding another person with a similar disability, them coming together, working it out, living together, the trials of finally, because this is the first time he's ever left home to live with this woman that he's now marrying. And you think there's got to be conflict. Never.
No?
Not
Never
really.
a single
Oh, cool.
thing.
And
Nothing.
you watched the whole thing, did you?
Yes.
Well, you can't
You
stop
can't
watching
stop.
it.
I'm telling you, once you start, it's like your tackle box. The hook is set.
Seriously. Like he turned it on and I'm like,
we literally had to keep watching to see if literally anything would fucking happen.
we
and
needed
you're-
to see if they would have sex.
So you think, okay, here's the thing. So you think, okay, now that we've ditched the storyline of there's no narrative of like A and B love story get together, okay, that's out the window. So now, sidetrack. She keeps hinting at this dark event that happened in her backstory.
Oh, no.
So she'd been married before. We get little tidbits along the way. She'd been married. Something went sideways. He got committed into a mental institution. She was stabbed a shit ton.
What?
And then he died.
And then he died. And then, so you think, okay, so that'll be the thing, is that she'll be overcoming this terrible attempted murder by a different, he was schizophrenic, I think, or whatever, her
Yeah.
husband before. So you think, okay,
Yeah.
that'll be it. So she'll come to terms with that, and she'll be like, yeah, I'm no longer afraid of men.
No.
Nope. She was
Nope.
fine. She's fine with it.
Her mom is a bitch.
Her mom is a bitch. No resolution there.
Nope. And it wasn't
course
even,
not.
she seemed nice. And
So-
then something happened.
Yeah, and then she
And-
was just a bitch. So you think finally, this is the last, this has got to be it. You think finally this is it. They're getting married. You're seeing the pre-parties. You're seeing the wedding. Now,
Honeymoon.
the through line is these two people are going to fuck. That will be the conclusion. Because
That's the through line.
yes, they ride the bus together to a park. She gives him a present wrapped in a newspaper. It is the joy of sex. He has never had sex before. She has. So she wants it. He's like, I don't know. So we have conversations with his special needs friends about sex because one of them has had sex and the other hasn't. So he's on his
Ooh.
side. We get Dina's point of view where she wants sex, but she realizes that he's scared
Well, yeah, you got to be scared of sex.
and
Who knows what's down there?
It's insane. So like you think, okay, it's building to a head. He's gonna get like his ire up. He's gonna get the confidence he needs to finally plow his wife. Nope. At the end of the movie,
It just ends.
they kiss each other and they turn out the lights and
Go to bed.
it's the end.
And,
And you
Fun.
realize you've watched an hour and a half of somebody's home video, excellently shot.
No, David, I haven't because I would have turned it off after like 15 minutes.
You
can't.
can't. Try it. You can't. Once you get past the dentist scene, it's in.
yeah.
You're just locked in. After the
At-
dentist, you're
At
just
the
locked in.
beginning, it's just
It's such a slow burn. It's like, okay, it's a firecracker with a very small bang in between very long fuses.
yeah.
So when you're watching, it starts, there's literally no sound. It's this woman in a dentist chair. The framing is beautiful. The color palette, whoever shot this, the cinematography is terrific. it was way overproduced, which makes it feel like everything that was done in it was also fake, but obviously not.
Obviously.
Because they have establishing shots of like them walking places, and like the camera crew and director would have to be there and then be like, okay, go back and now walk in like you would whatever. My gripes are my own. However, shot beautifully. Moral of the story is you're sitting there in silence watching a woman, and I thought we were watching a photograph. She's sitting there so quietly and still, and then she lifts her head. And I'm like, oh, it's a movie.
Oh, I thought this was one of them rotoscopes.
And I'm like, and then her interaction with the nurse, I was like, okay, that's the first, not a bang, but like a pop. And you're like, what? And then the
We're good, like little firecrackers.
Then the firecrackers start coming down the line.
But there's no grand finale.
Yeah, there's no finale. There's just that, because you're watching. Okay, here it is. You know those shitty fireworks that are the snakes?
Yes.
That just sort of like. Imagine if one of those.
They shit out a bunch of ash.
Yeah, imagine if one of those was like 10 feet long, but every foot it went. You'd be like, what the fuck? You would watch the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because you'd wait.
No, I wouldn't.
You'd wait for the next.
Yeah, and you never know what could happen.
And you'd be like, does it just do that? Will it do it again? Are there more? Is it different? But no, it's still the same bizarre sound every foot.
Every time.
And you can't fucking stop.
No.
Watch Dina.
Do it.
No.
My recommendation.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
No. I've got a lot of shit I need to watch. And some of it doesn't make a lick of sense, but I'm not watching some.
This is something you can put on in the background. You don't need to watch it hardcore. It's something.
But I can put other things. I can listen to audiobooks.
But I'm telling you, Andy, I would not be telling you to watch this if I did not feel it would enrich your character.
Sure.
I am telling you this as a human. You will look at it and be like, this is a beautifully shot, brilliantly executed piece of cellulose. I imagine, because it's an independent filmmaker, I imagine she got 35 mil. Probably not. It was probably digital, but whatever. The cinematic lenses, the framing, it was all excellent. The sound design, perfect. It just had fucking zero content.
But enough content to keep you watching.
Yeah, it was like a walking simulator. That's why we liked it.
There you go.
I liked it. Walking simulator that farted and had back fat. People love that shit.
He talked about how much he masturbated.
Yeah.
Like a lot, but he's afraid of sex.
Like a lot.
That's the thing. So something that I don't know how to phrase this. He did things that I've seen other people do, which make me think that the people I've seen do these things were special. You know what I mean? Where he did that. So in this movie, Dina and him you're literally watching them watch TV for 20 minutes while she hints at wanting a foot rub from her fiance. And he's not getting it. And he's like, I'm trying to pick up those clues. And she's like, yeah, she gives a good foot rub on the TV. You should give a good foot rub. And he's like, I know, one day, baby, one day. And so finally,
you could just say, hey, fucking rub my feet.
Yeah, well, they're tiptoeing around the issue. And that's why it's so compelling. So finally, the feet are rubbed, and he does it in such a fucking bonkers way that the payoff for the wait was worth it.
And start saying "nice kitty."
Yeah, but then I'm telling you,
you have to watch.
It's something you need to see, because when you see him and you're like, I'm sitting there, rubber feet, just go fucking rubber feet, and so the scene can end, rubber feet, and then 15 minutes of that, and then boom. It's like, not even like he gets up. He's like smash cut to him on her feet doing this insane hand jive all over the fucking. But moral of the story is he's like, I don't always get hit my mark, but I try. And like, I've heard tons of people say variations of that. Like, I don't always get blah, 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 but I try. I want to be like, I hear a lot of special people use that, and other people I think might be. Is there a corollary? Andy, get back to me. I need a Google search.
Not that I know of, actually. Having taken several classes about it.
Oh yeah, you'd probably know.
Yeah, he's a teacher.
Did they have a class on that?
Several. Not about the thing about saying, I'll get back, like I'm almost there.
Listen, there's got to be at least a chapter in a textbook that will tell you that a person in this certain intelligence range will say they try at something as hard as they can, but they don't always get it right. And they're right in here.
I mean, that's a lot of people.
Yep.
It's probably 90% of the population.
Try real hard, don't always get there.
If I said that was a horoscope, someone would have told me that was 100% right. Just because I didn't say horoscope, you're like, nah.
Nah.
Still, great prediction by yours truly.
It is.
Andy, when I talked to you yesterday, I said, well, let's do a show. And you're like, I'm busy. Fuck it. And I was like, but... And you're like, what about tomorrow?
You can't call me same day. Like, I'm not just sitting around waiting. Oh, David called.
I know. But some people are.
But you should be, because you should be quarantining.
You should be quarantined. You shouldn't be leaving the house.
Like, I could spend a day with my wife and watch movies and shit.
Oh, like you never... Whatever. Moral of the story is, Andy said, let's do it tomorrow, and let's double down, and we'll do a game. So, I feel like this needs a little bit of an intro before we break it open, because if you're under the age of 50, you might not know what this is. So back in the old days, when people used to watch TV when it was released over the airwaves, and you couldn't watch it like on the internet, there was a TV show called CSI Miami. David Caruso was the lead. And he would say something, about murder, and he would take his glasses off, and the Who would scream. Yeah. Whatever. If you remember that, no one's listening who hasn't heard the show. Whatever. So we're going to be doing the Caruso off. Let's hear it. Okay. So I imagine what we're doing is Andy and I will be competing. Krista as the judge, or possibly the live chat.
I only did 2 because that's what we agreed on.
I know. I only did 2 as well because I completely forgot about it until about an hour ago.
Oh, good.
Like, shit, I'm for the show.
Yeah. It's amazing how many things you forget when you have to wipe someone else's ass.
Yeah.
You're like, my whole day's ruined. So, Andy, why don't, since you, brought this game back from the dead, you can go first.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like this murder was a crime gone wrong. The victim was a security guard that walked in on a man having sex with the Liberty Bell, and he was shot on the spot. The DNA left on the bell matches DNA found from semen samples left at Independence Hall, on Ben Franklin's hat, and on the gritty mascot costume. We have no matches in the database. Well, it looks like we need to start looking for someone with Philadelphia.
Nice.
Philadelphia. Fuck it. All right. Check this out. Looks like 2021 was a turn for the worse for this poor rancher. It's possible, it's the prevailing theory, a jilted lover from Farmers Only gifted the poor boy that mighty longhorn that killed him. But they drugged it, causing the bull to go into a rage. The man was gored. Too bad the end of 2020 didn't get this guy a happy new steer.
Sure. I'll take it.
It was an angry bull, not a happy new steer.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Whoa!
Oh my God, David's gonna fall.
Andy and me,
Okay.
Krista, whose was better?
I don't know.
Is the latency quick enough for the typing square for?
I don't know. Kayla just said Caruso off. So,
Okay, so yeah, we're not, okay, so maybe we'll just move on and we'll get the score later. We'll move
that
on.
Works.
Okay,
Okay.
Andy, I'll go first for the next one.
Okay.
A visiting factory inspector from Wisconsin was found murdered at the end of this cheese production line. The conveyor is jammed in an always-on position, and the monster is still filling the man's mouth. One thing's for sure. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets any cheddar. Woo!
What a terrible game.
What happens if it's tied?
I don't know. We should have done 3.
We both win.
All right, Andy, hit it.
But this one's convoluted, so stick with me.
Okay.
Sir, this looks like an attempt to get rich quick gone wrong. The casino reports what looks like a woman dressed in colonial garb coming up to the roulette tables and placing substantial bets from a pile of cash in a briefcase. The pit boss got suspicious and had the casino check the bills, which turned out to be stolen. When confronted, the person whipped out their shawl and gunned down the casino security with an Uzi. As you can see here, security footage shows what appears to be David Schwimmer fleeing from the scene of the crime wearing a dress. Gambling, Schwimmer, and period dress? Well, it looks like we need to put out an APB for Betsy Ross. Oh no, I'm crying. That was so bad.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Ah!
So, I think the first round, people are saying Andy, but
It's
then
tied.
others are seeing New Steer wins.
What? So what?
So it's hard on the chat.
What? Just count how many.
Well,
Okay.
there's 1 and 1.
Oh. Well, don't say other people. Say other persons. So we have a tie so far. But we did do our second one. Results are coming in. Florida has yet to weigh in. We're waiting on Georgia and Pennsylvania. Please stand by. We will have your new Caruso champion, hopefully by the end of 2022.
Hopefully.
I hope you mailed in your ballots because those will be counted last.
And then
Oh,
people
man.
get angry about it.
Yeah.
Oh man, so crazy. I almost forgot how to do the Caruso off. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this anymore.
That's why I didn't do it.
The second one goes to Dave.
Oh shit, dog.
But you don't understand. Look, she was in colonial garb and she was betting, and it was David Schwimmer.
Yeah, Betsy Ross.
So you're tied.
Huh? Oh no, because I took the second one. We were tied in the first one, right?
Oh, I voted for myself in the first one, so I
What?
Cherish says Andy. Kayla says, Happy New Steer wins in my mind. Andy
Okay.
voted Andy.
Okay, Andy doesn't count.
and then
So first
Kayla-
one was a tie.
And then
we get
Kayla-
winner on both. For I say David gets both here.
Yeah.
Oh snap!
Number 2, Dave.
Looks like this election deserved a recount.
Kayla
Someone-
says it's a rare occurrence, but I call David winner on both.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
This was not a rigged erection.
Mm.
I
No,
was
I don't
hoping
think
you
so.
would-
It messed up.
I was even doing the voice.
No,
Andy.
she was delaying because you didn't deserve it.
How dare you? Another thing that I realized was that here's my old. I had to pull out my old games notebook. The first one I pulled out, it was like, oh, it said FFOP notes. I'm like flippity flip flip flip, looking for the nearest usable page. All full. First top 3 books, all full. Gotta burn those
no.
mothers. Just taking up space.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to burn them to let out the evil spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exorcise the demons. Maybe that'd be that would probably be annoying if we did like maybe for charity one day. I take all of the games I ever did and do them back to back.
Oh, sure. Just read them by yourself. You can play with yourself.
There's others, I've got notebooks from other visitors.
Joe says I take away my vote for Dave and move it to Andy.
I still won. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
'Cause even if he moves his vote to Andy, that only ties us in one round, and I took one round handily.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, do
Mhm.
not. I swear to God, I've not looked into the Google Voice for the phone line yet again, but I'm tempted to not if you keep.
But
making me
recording's so
forget.
much better now.
Are we? Oh yeah, that's the
No,
thing.
like-
The recordings are, or not. The recordings were always as is, but the transcript is better. Google has somehow gotten smarter, so it's no longer cryptic. It's pretty much like we just read what you said. So that was the thing. We were talking about a new bit, maybe like a 30-second, Billy Review had a minute review for maybe 3 episodes. I think he reviewed a windshield scraper.
He
That's all I
like
can
fell
remember.
off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I feel like he's still alive, but I don't know. Things happen in Jersey.
Mm.
Adam's also alive somewhere.
I hear tell of him being alive. Every once in a while, he'll show up and play whatever, Cyberpunk or whatever. I know that someone is at least accessing his account.
Joe says,
That's
here's
the man who
thing.
murdered him.
I just want an outlet to rant to.
So maybe we'll
Or
do,
vent.
yeah, we'll get like a little, whatever, venue for you. We can get that
Yeah.
back.
We
Intern
call it
needs,
Joe's gibbering.
but I need something to return, Joe. I need, if I'm going to, your cast member, you got to start pulling your weight. I don't know what you can do for me right now.
Yeah, like all.
Yeah. Andy, like he wrote down stuff. That was calories burned. I don't have anything specific right now, but I will have demands. That's what I'm getting at.
And I'm stuck here doing all of this stuff.
Yep. You work for the
Oh,
show,
the corner.
you get bread and water.
I am in the corner.
And that's it. Though David doesn't have bread though, so
I don't have
Right,
bread,
we don't
so
have
it's
bread.
water. All the water you can drink is what you get.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Listen, it was the holiday season. I'm not going to, pretend like I didn't break. Someone brought in a bag full of disgusting Mexican candy. However, they left like 2 or 3 of those tiny little Snickers in there. I ate them. I ate them up. I left all the tamarindo and all the other crap with all the chili powder for the rest of my coworkers.
Ugh.
And can you believe nobody's taken a single piece? It's like, what? I thought people loved this candy. Everybody
No,
keeps
they
telling
just
me.
tell you they do.
No, it's garbage. People say, oh, it's my favorite.
It's like
Oh,
fruitcake.
yeah, that's why we have it. Like, seriously, we have a bag of this candy that someone brought in and set on, like, there were cookies. There
Set
were,
on fire.
yeah, there were cookies. There were like whatever, Christmas chocolates and crap. Because, that was the time that everybody starts to schmooze and like hand out food for whatever.
Mhm.
And so all of it, boom, wiped clean, except for this one Ziploc bag of tamarind candy. I not for nothing, but I was proved right yet again in the future from the past.
Joe says, now that Angie doesn't work at Target, I'm the official FFOP retail correspondent.
Yeah, probably. Retail's insane though. I can't imagine.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
You don't want it.
No.
I'm good. I've never worked in retail, and I never want to.
I sometimes
No, go for it.
I sometimes think about jobs that just. If my job had a window, I could shut my door and I'd be fine. Because if I shut the door, it feels like I'm literally just in a box because I don't have a window.
Mm.
Sucks.
Oh, poor Dave.
Yeah. All I want's a window. But not for me.
Santa didn't bring one.
Nope, not this year. Maybe next year. I guess, Andy, do you have anything else going on?
No, I sit in this house and like there's no work right now because the kids are at spring break until next week. Not spring break, winter break. It'd be weird if they were at spring break.
Spring break. Oh, it's so cold. Havasu, so cold this time of year. Spring.
Spring.
The Steam sale is going on if you're watching this live, and was going on if this is the future. And let's talk about door kickers. We haven't done that. We got to give it a proper review because we played the shit out of it. I've been playing the shit out of it since you and I played it, and I fucking love it. The second one looks like garbage though, so I'm not going to get it.
What?
They changed it from a 2D like 16-bit side scroller into a 3D overhead tactical, like you move a whole team at like plan ahead, and it's no longer door kickers. It's boring kickers. But
Well, David wears small pants and I shoot a bunch of people. 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. Oh my god, it's so fun.
It is.
Maybe
fun.
4 out of 5. I mean, the progression is not super great.
No,
I
it's
play the recon guy.
I play the off duty, or sometimes the shield lady that now I know is a lady. But
Yes.
I feel like it's got something for everybody. I settled into the off duty guy pretty well because whatever, everybody's got their style. That's mine. I'm the heavy from a far away distance.
I'm just good at running up and getting killed.
And like here's what I love about this game, that when I tell you I love a game, here's what I love. The core gameplay loop. If it can hook me, you got it. And there is nothing. I don't know if there is a diminishing return for kicking open a door and shooting a dude in the face. if there is, it's so slight I can't even feel it because I've kicked open thousands of doors at this point and split open hundreds of skulls, and it never stops being fun. Like doing that thing where you can trick them over and kick the door into their face so they're all like, duh, and then you go blam. Or sometimes you just open the door quietly and the dude with the machete like slowly looks over at you and you turn his head into a Panama Canal or whatever. Like
To the Panama Canal.
it's always fun. And like it's the same thing with Broforce, like that visceral sort of short loop gameplay. And I think personally, and they probably can't help this, but like the interface could probably be a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, like it's like a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I 4.5. I'm gonna go 4.5. 5 would be perfect, but this is so good. Like I'm gonna play it for so long, and I'm also factoring in that half star is for value because when I got it, $4.50, and I've already gotten $100 worth of enjoyment out of it. So great, Andy. So great.
So great.
So great.
I mean,
I
you
liked
were
it.
there.
I was.
And the music. Here's the thing. I often turn off the music for video games because it's not appealing. This music is great. It's the right amount of like 80s action inspired synth, like guitar, no lyrics. It's perfect. So the soundtrack I would buy if it were available, and it might be because I did not look. Anywho, so that's probably should
Don't
have.
kick doors, children.
Yeah, it's so good. Should have been a more thought out review, but I forgot about it till earlier this evening. So Andy,
Because of the poop.
yeah, because of the poo, because of the I don't know what it is about it. You go so long.
Fumes.
You go so long without seeing a butthole, and then something happens in your life, and you see a butthole not just once, but multiple times every day, and you're like, why? Why can't I go back to the time where I saw 0 buttholes a day?
Looking at this butthole.
You gotta stop saying butthole because I think it's so funny whenever you say it.
And it's always there. And but here's the thing: you can't look
David,
away.
but you can't make it an excuse like every time you see the butthole it flashes red and the Men in Black are like you don't remember what you're supposed to write down.
No, and that's the thing. It's not, and that's part
Look
of it. You have to look at it. It is a necessity to keep something clean. You must inspect it.
Gotta inspect this butthole.
And so I find myself as a dutiful father inspecting a butthole so
A
many
dutiful
times a day.
butthole.
Stop saying butthole.
I am so like I used to be grossed out, and now I'm just sad that I'm so deadened to the fact that like now I know why. Like you know when you're a kid and you still like bathe with your parent or your father if you're a boy, obviously, because like I still showered my dad till I was like 2 or 3, and I still have vague memories of like doing the whole like washcloth thing and yada yada yada. And I was even as a child be like ugh, like even as a child being like ugh, my dad's nude and he's so weird and comfortable with it. But it's because you are so fucking tired of it, you don't care.
Get in the shower, kid.
Like if you put like if Steam were somehow able to put a clock, like a gameplay clock attached to my eyes every time I looked at my son's butthole, thousands of hours, and it would just be like a really like the review would be a thumbs down and just like a really sad face.
What? Well, okay, David. So what I want you to do is you have the stopwatch on your phone, right?
Oh god.
Every time you have to look at a butthole, you hit the stopwatch, and then you stop, look at the butthole, hit it again. Do that for a week.
I wonder, there's probably an app where I could just like voice activate a timer. So here's what I'll do. I'm not going to do a week. I'll do 2 days. I'll do 2 days, a weekend. I was like, the timer activate every time his asshole is exposed. And then I'll just multiply it for 365 and it'll be millions of hours, more hours than there are in that
Millions.
year. And it will somehow be more.
Time extends and stretches out to infinity when Dave peers into the dark nothingness of buttholes.
When you travel faster than the speed of light, or when you're staring into a butthole, time slows to almost nothing. Anyway, Andy, tell me what you want to recommend our listeners this week.
We've been playing the Arkham Horror living card game, is what they call it.
Woo!
When you buy the first one, you get 5 investigators and enough cards to make 2 decks. But here's the
Okay.
thing. If you want a good deck, you got to buy the expansions, which comes with more investigators, more scenarios.
Wait, so
like
they don't
it's
offer you everything you need to have fun, and they want you to spend more money?
it's a
Andy.
scenario-based game. So the first one comes with 3 scenarios. It kind of talks about ghouls and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like Lovecraft ghouls.
Yeah.
And then the other expansion we bought is the Innsmouth Conspiracy.
Ooh, okay.
So we're
is
going
this,
around fighting fish people.
Well, conspiracy. Not to get too nerd on you here, Andy, but conspiracy denotes to me post Shadow over Innsmouth events. Is that true?
See, what is happening right now is our investigators woke up with no memories in a cave that has an amalgam of fish people that is chasing after us, and we have to recover our memories.
Okay, guys. Spoiler alert to everybody writing Lovecraftian fiction. Amnesia. We did it. Hooray! I'm so okay. Whatever. I feel like that's my personal most hated trope is amnesia.
But there's also like a Forgotten Civilizations expansion. There's Dunwich. There's a Dreamlands one.
I don't know why everybody loves Dunwich. Not this guy. Everybody's like, oh, Dunwich horror, such a great blah blah blah, and it's such a pivotal in this character and that character. Don't care for Armitage. Don't care for Wilbur. Don't care for the lot of them. Lavinia, take her, leave her. Don't care. Old Wilbur.
See, I enjoyed that over these Arkham Horror things. I don't know any of the characters from the books because, frankly, I find reading Lovecraft rather boring.
Oh, Andy.
But the characters carry over from all the different board games. So
Well, but those are like the same people, though, right?
yeah,
So yeah, you should. Well, but yeah, the Wilbur should be whatever. Krista, what is the name of the other show we watched? It is about a man who is blind and he shuffles cards
something
better.
like Richard Turner.
Richard
is his name.
Crap! I was trying to look it up while you were talking, and I couldn't find it in my recently watched. But so here's the scoop, Andy. Dealt is the name of the documentary. It is about a man named Richard Turner. He is the world's best sleight of hand card mechanic. He calls himself a card mechanic. He's blind. His story is compelling. It has ethos. There is a start, a middle, an end. There is resolution. There is conclusion. It's everything you want in a fucking movie that Dina promised but didn't deliver.
It was really interesting.
It even takes a little side swipe, and you're like, whoa, something's going to happen here. And then it comes right back on course. You're like, oh, everything's fine. Things get tense. Everything's cool. It's got great movie structure, and it's just about this one amazing dude's ability to just fucking amaze. Like, I can't.
do it.
And he's blind. Blind as a bat. So many cards in his house.
So many that he drops them, we can't find them again.
The funniest part of
You
the
did.
show.
You do see that a scene where that happens.
Yeah. The funniest part for me was when his wife's friend was talking on the thing, and she was like, his wife told me, and she couldn't believe it happened, but they were having sex one day, and all of a sudden she heard, and he was shuffling with one hand while they were having sex.
Shuffling that labia around.
He has been shuffling cards solidly
Non-stop.
since like the 70s. He's got tens of thousands of decks of cards in his house. He has vintage. He has a card cellar, much like people have a wine cellar.
The nursery, his baby's nursery when he was born was cards.
Guess his kid's name. Asa Spades.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, Asa Spades Turner. Can you believe it?
Are we sure he's not just a Motorhead fan?
All the cards. I'm not saying he couldn't double dip, but the shuffling makes me think it's about the cards.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris, do you want to recommend something?
So I got a free game on Steam called it's like Leaf Blower.
Oh yeah, Leaf Blower.
I sat there and played that stupid game for like 3 hours straight, I feel like. And it's all you're doing is just blowing leaves in a yard. And you can upgrade your leaf blower. You go from hands to a rake to like all these crazy leaf blowers.
I'm telling you, now is the time, like being locked indoors is the time for developers to make
Boring games.
simulators of normal things that you would normally do when you would go out into public. Like, here's the thing. We got a bus sim. We got a truck sim. I want a taxi sim or an Uber sim or something along those lines. Give me a taxi.
I want to be a ninja or something.
I don't want to escape into be a ninja because ninjas can die and taxi drivers, drive around the city and it's fun and they make money.
Yeah, unless you're Travis Bickle.
Unless you're Travis Bickle, in which case you got problems. Okay, Krista. So the leaf blower game.
Leaf blower, yeah. Leaf blower.
I assume it's still free. That
I
sale
don't think.
is
Yeah,
always
there's
on.
expansions or some crap that costs money.
Yeah.
but I'm
It's one of
not-
those
That wood
fee-
chipper.
fee to pay or whatever. Yeah, you can buy little like leaf Roombas. I am messing around. I bought so many of them because they were so cheap. But there's like a little model train game that I'm having a lot of fun with. I've been playing a lot of recently.
You played Turmoil for like 4 hours
yeah.
yesterday.
Turmoil kicks ass too. That'll be my secondary recommendation. Turmoil and all its expansions right now are like $7, and it's a blast. Oil drilling game. I thought it was going to suck. Krista said buy it, and I did.
Yep. And I was right. Holy shit.
1 to a
Mark
million.
it. Mark it now. Everybody
Even
in
a
the
blind
chat.
squirrel get a nut once in a while.
Ew.
That's my. I had a foreman used to say that. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening or watching.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming by. If you want to get in contact with us, you know how. It's fistfulpodcast@gmail.com. That's the email. We got a Discord, we got a Facebook, we got a Twitter, we got an Instagram. It's all linked. If you can find one, you'll find them all. And I guarantee you can find one because you're watching this.
Got a
True.
Pinterest.
We don't have a Pinterest. Don't look us up on Pinterest
You'll
We don't
get
have a
sex
pin.
toys, maybe.
or a Trest.
I
Or
have
you
a
might
Pinterest.
get sex toys. Well, whatever. You can visit Chris's personal Pinterest.
It's
Anywho.
boring.
Mm.
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 Like my Amazon list.
Okay.
Downfling.
All right, guys. What else should I? Oh, the merch in the store. I realize it's not Christmas anymore, but every time you buy Popeye merch, you support Heart, the Homeless Animals Rescue team here in Arizona. The Flamingo Friday merch. That shit goes right into my pocket, yo. I guess that's it. So, Andy,
Yeah.
anything else you want to say before we wrap
No,
up?
we don't have exits anymore.
I know. Oh shit, that's the thing. I was gonna write a whole bunch down, and I was like,
But he
those are
looked
all
at a
brilliant.
butthole.
But then I looked at a butthole. God damn it. Because I was like, oh man, these are all great, and there's a million of them. Fuck.
I got these things. Oh, the baby needs changing the diaper. The fuck was I doing?
Yeah, and then I'm
Where
like,
am
well,
I?
there's a mustardy butthole.
Ugh.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and try to forget that I just said mustardy butthole.
Ugh.
See you next week.